Set the day after tomorrow in Metro City, VIPER is a weekly action series which follows the adventures of a top-secret crime-fighting team known as the VIPER Project.
Camera! Action!
Truth is, this isn't just a car.
It isn't.
No, ma'am, this is an icon. You don't drive an icon. You bond with it.
This is just all American stuff, you know? It's just kind of apple pie. It's Detroit muscle and, you know, a bunch of pretty people.
Americans do have a love of the automobile. I mean, it's just a pop icon of our culture.
Led by ex-CIA operative Thomas Cole, his team is assisted by the ever-present VIPER car, which can transform itself into the Defender, the most sophisticated fighting machine in the world.
I just like the intensity. I like edge-of-your-seat action.
The show has always been, for me, a sort of futuristic detective show.
It's like a Mission Impossible with kind of a comic book feel to it.
There's a lot of danger, and everyone's got to be really aware and very careful, but at the same time, it's got to be fun.
VIPER, fully loaded. A behind-the-scenes look at an ambitious new TV series.
VIPER, coming this September. Fully loaded. VIPER.
Payloads on demand. Explosive, tractor hook, smoke, or gas.
Hero.
Roll the prom now!
Action.
Let's pull back away from backup!
We can't just let him get away!
Great TV.
I'm gonna use my own system. I'm out of here!
VIPER, giving new definition to excitement. Coming this fall. VIPER, coming this September. Fully loaded.
When VIPER premieres nationwide this fall, viewers will be treated to non-stop action and excitement from co-creators Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, who bring their motion picture experience to the small screen.
Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo are two of the best action producers in the business. We brought them to the lot because of their track record in action, both as a writing, producing team, and Danny's one of the strongest action directors that there are. He really has a great eye and manages to capture action in a very visual and exciting way.
We were actually brought to Paramount to do a car show, Paul and I. That was part of our original deal. They wanted to do a car show. So we picked a car. We started out by, well, what car would be cool? Well, at that time, and still now, the VIPER was one of the most flashy and interesting cars.
What do you know about a project called VIPER?
It's supposed to be some sort of assault vehicle. We've all heard stories, but nobody takes them seriously.
I suggest you start. We've had the latest prototype for almost a year, and 2 months ago, the feds assembled a team.
It's just about a couple of cops that are also being assisted by a talented mechanic and a techno woman that invents all these gadgets for us to use from episode to episode.
I want the VIPER totally operational by nightfall. Lose the remote access capabilities if you have to, but be ready.
You got it.
It's an action show. It's got a lot of humor, and it's got a certain edge to it that I think you don't find in a lot of shows that are of this nature.
Clear the way, I'll handle this.
I think the car is sort of the signature of the show. I think the car, to me, is the hero's horse, or is his Swiss Army knife on wheels.
What I enjoy the most are doing big stunts and action that people don't normally do on television, that you have to go to the movies to see. Sort of pushing the envelope of TV. That's what I really enjoy the most.
This gets easier and easier. Blow it.
Yesterday we drove a truck through a bank, and for a bank robbery, drove the truck through another police car. It took 2 days to shoot a scene that'll last probably 3 minutes, and that's not really normal for television.
The leader of the VIPER project is Thomas Cole.
It's bigger than anything I've ever done in terms of stunts and special effects and all that. I mean, it feels, and even looks, from what I've seen, what little I've seen of the episodes that we've shot so far, it's got a great look to it.
Cole and partner Detective Cameron Westlake combat the criminals of Metro City and are responsible for the operation of the VIPER.
VIPER is something that's really unique, and I think that that'll be apparent once it's on the air, because from my perspective, what they're trying to do is to bring drama to an action show.
Officers down, we need at least 5 additional units. On second thought, send everything you've got.
The stunts are immense. I mean, television really doesn't get much bigger, in my opinion.
Ready? No! Go! Whoa!
Mechanical systems are primed and ready.
Frankie Waters is the mechanic whose wry sense of humor keeps the team loose and the VIPER ready to go.
Actually, what they're going to do right now is they're going to take me and they're going to strap me to the front of this huge Cyclops diesel rig.
Hey, Mark!
Stationed at the VIPER complex, Dr. Allie Farrow uses her keen scientific mind to keep the VIPER team out of trouble.
She wants to go. She wants to ride in the VIPER. They've had her ask a couple of shows, you know, what about me? When am I going to go? When is it going to be my turn?
We're always looking to bring a little extra edge and take it beyond what your expectations are for a regular television show.
Allie! Roll the probe now!
What is this show about? It's about the VIPER. It's the star of the show.
The car is armored and it's also armed, but it's also loaded with surveillance equipment in the form of a self-propelled independent unit that's called the probe. It also has the capability to fire a variety of missiles that have different payloads.
How fast have I gone in this? I don't know if that's a good question for me to answer. The speedometer says 180. And I've been real close to that.
One of the things we want to do is evolve the car, so it's not always doing the same things, so that different weeks we'll add different things to the car.
Working with the car's been really interesting. It's fast. It's a really fast car. And I mean, it's a toy. Well, I guess VIPER owners wouldn't look at it. No, they look at it as a toy, I think, too. It's a big, fun toy.
The car is a personal machine. The car is a symbol of freedom. It's also a symbol of a lifestyle. And when you take the car that we have and put it in the context of this show, it's a car that allows our heroes to have an edge.
What's it like to star with a car? Hear firsthand when VIPER, fully loaded, continues.
There's some criminals in Metro City with a few days to kill. One problem, they've picked the wrong town.
Life's a bitch.
Because now they're going face to face with the most powerful weapon on Earth. VIPER.
What the hell was that?
The most elite law enforcement team anywhere. A rebellious ex-CIA operative.
Throw out your weapon and get out of the truck!
The most highly decorated cop on the force.
If you've got something to say to me, say it.
An ace mechanic who laughs at the face of danger.
You have the natural instincts to excel in the business of destruction.
And a military weapons genius.
Give me another 30 seconds to reboot the firing systems.
Look out for VIPER. Coming the week of September 23rd. Check your local listings.
An intruder alarm just went off a few miles to the east, the gold exchange.
Decker's there. Let's move.
When VIPER premieres this fall, viewers will be introduced to the VIPER team, 4 distinct personalities, each with their own unique talent.
In the role of Cole, Jeff Cake brings a maturity, a physical presence. I believe that he can win a battle. I believe that he can lead the rest of the team. I believe that he can knock out a bad guy when he has to. I believe that he can interrogate a bad guy, and I believe that he can drive the car.
He's strong, he's good looking, he portrays a sense of moral values, and he brings that to the character, as well as a level of intelligence that I think people want to see.
We're a team, Westlake. Frankie's your partner. Are you willing to lose another one?
I've waited 16 years of my life to do this. And I'm ready for it.
You've got to believe that he's someone who's smart enough and who's instinctive enough and who's courageous enough to get in and out of these scrapes. In all those aspects of the role, we really find that Jeff gives us that person and personifies it in the character of Cole.
Throw out your weapon and get out of the truck.
It's been a lot of fun working with Jeff. I think that his experience is good for me because I'm much newer at all of this.
The character that we're trying for is kind of a wild card kind of guy, a guy who doesn't follow a lot of rules.
Jeff really does bring a sense of fun to this guy.
Jump my car.
What more could you ask for? I've got all the best toys. I'm working with beautiful women, and I'm the hero.
I must have got caught on that downhill grade. Sometimes you get that momentum going, and it's
Just give me your license and registration.
I must have left my wallet in my other pants. How fast was I going?
We clocked you in excess of 135 miles per hour.
That's impossible. I never topped 120, but I appreciate the warning.
In the role of Westlake, Heather Medway brings sort of a strength.
If you've got something to say to me, say it.
She's believable as a cop, and she's beautiful. That's a tricky one to find.
We got no business out on the line.
Oh, we all belong in the kitchen, is that it?
Or the bedroom.
You wouldn't know what to do with it if you had any.
What's that?
Well, the way I hear it, your wife thought so much of your technique, she ran off with the pool man.
Yeah, well, I didn't get my partner shot to death either, did I?
I'm able to combine the strength and athletic, just the action thing, but at the same time, I'm very female.
I'm with you, Westlake.
And I think that that combination is what they needed for this role.
Heather is great to work with. She's just a sweetheart on top of being extremely beautiful.
She has all the attributes that you want from your traditional female lead. At the same time, she portrays intelligence and authority and physical presence where you believe this woman could be a cop.
And action.
It had to have been a syndicate hit. The mob must have pulled their covers.
Joe Napodi is a natural comic, and we look to Frankie as being the, I don't want to call him the comic relief, but let's say a lot of the humor emanates from this character.
I can see your establishment is popular with truckers. Is there any chance that one of these nights on the road might also drive a Cyclops diesel rig and turn me on as supplier? Huh, Sparky?
We have a strict rule on the show that you can't ad lib, and I think personally that applies, or should apply, to everyone except me.
This is where we transport right into the Star Trek series. Go right from Viper, all of a sudden we're on the Enterprise.
All right, here's a rehearsal.
Thank you.
He has a lot of great comic timing and is always adding a lot of jokes on his own, many more than I want. So.
And look at this. You have a really, bad camera compared to them.
Joe's very much a character.
You have the natural instincts to excel in the business of destruction.
You got beat up a lot in high school, didn't you?
Define a lot.
The two guys that are producing the show, Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, are probably the nicest guys I've ever worked with in the business, besides Steven Spielberg.
Hi, I'm Allie Farrow, systems engineer.
Dawn Stern, who plays Allie, brings kind of a fresh quality. She's very exuberant.
I really like Allie because on the one hand, she's a brilliant physicist. She's a brilliant scientist. Then there's this other side of her that, you know, she's not in the military anymore. And she's very much, you know, a woman, and she wants to be perceived like that.
There's also a static pulse projector that fires a charge that can disable a target's operating system. Front and rear battering rams, a hologram projector that extends from the roof, VidCam and recording sensors all around.
She can do the gobbledygook dialogue better than any actor I've ever had.
The VIPER CPU wasn't fully synchronized with the new remote system we installed here at the complex. Communication problem. I think I've worked out the bugs.